Okay, in any case, session 36. Well, we're getting up there in session numbers. But last time was kind of a diversion. You guys went to the winery to drop off the gem that you had recovered from Baba Lasaga's hut. And when you got there, you found out that the Marnikovs had the youngest of them, the child actually, had been abducted by werewolves that were apparently um, abducting children all over Barovia, battle reports. And so you guys agreed to help them out and go and try and get the child back and rout out the werewolves if you could. You had a pretty good idea of where they were located. They were pretty close to the lake upon which the wizard's tower that Van Richten had been staying in was shacked up for a while. So you made your way over to the hills to the northwest of that, and soon enough you did indeed find a cave on the side of a mountain. You also, before engaging or approaching the cave, you encountered Emil, who was the fellow that you rescued from Castle Ravenloft, and he was a prisoner in the dungeon along with you guys. And he said that his wife had been basically imprisoned there, and he was going to help you out to try and break her free. So you guys pretty much threw any kind of plan aside and charged right in, swords a-blazing, if you will, and got into a pretty lengthy combat. There was foes coming from both the top and the bottom. You guys first tried to go into a lookout point above the cave, engaged a bunch of foes there, and then a whole bunch more came running up from the cave mouth in addition to coming up the stairs. So kind of had this dual-pronged battle going on, but you made pretty quick work of the werewolves and got it down to, you fought your way down the slope and back into the cave itself proper, where you faced probably about maybe a dozen or so werewolves, and you whittled most of them down, along with some dire wolves and a bunch of wolves, which you took care of you were just throwing fireballs left and right and smoking these guys up. Oh, and Paul just jumped again in VC. What's up with this?
I didn't do anything, I swear.
No, I know it's not you. It's VC freaking out again. Sorry about that. In any case, you got took care of most of the werewolves, and there were about maybe 5 or 6 remaining, and they surrendered. You guys had a brief parley, and you pretty much got the impression that Emil was indeed a werewolf, and his wife had been. She actually was a prisoner, but it's because that she and Emil did not agree with the tribe leader, and they didn't get into too much detail about it, but it had something to do with the way the children were being used, but not that they were actually stealing children, it's just the way that they were being used. In any case, you took care of the leader. He's dead, so they said you essentially made them promise that they would release the children and not capture any more. And they were not too happy with that. You got into some brief re-entrance of combat, but things eventually smoothed over to the point where combat was ended, and you extracted a promise for them to stop capturing more children. In the process, though, Casimir didn't really like the way that you guys attacked after they had surrendered. And he basically left. So, but Van Richten and his tiger hung around with you guys. So you now are leaving this werewolf den with, I can't remember how many children there were. I think about 8 or 9. Yeah. Children, including the one that was abducted from the Martikovs. Oh, what was her name? Stefania. No, I'm sorry, that was the mother. The hell was the kid's name? Yolanda, that's right. You've got Yolanda along with all of the other kids that were in there. And Van Richten and his tiger, and that's where we'll pick up. So you guys are currently... Here, I'll put you on the map. Right here. And, yeah, that's where you're at, so... What would you like to do?
We have to bring the kid back to the Wizards of Wine, right?
Hmm.
Well, you don't
They,
have to.
I think we should.
yeah. I mean, and maybe they can take over the rest of the kids and help them find their homes and stuff instead of us.
So, okay, you're going to head back to the winery.
Yep. Sure.
Okay. So I think I'm going to do, again, continuing this idea that Paul had, is have you guys roll your own random encounters. It's basically once every 30 minutes if you're going about 4 miles an hour. So roughly, let's see, miles and what, about 4 or 5 hexes? Yeah, 4 hexes. So, yeah, it looks like probably about two rolls. So one of you guys roll a d20.
All right, I will.
10. Okay, so you guys make it basically over to the road and really at the intersection of all the Old Svalich Road and the trail leading to the Wizards of Wine. So one more check should get you there. If whoever would like to do that. 3. Okay. Yep. You managed to get past with no encounters. So you approach the winery. Looks to be pretty much as you left it. Nobody's immediately outside, but you're free to approach if you wish. And
Still.
Yeah, we know where they are, so let's just go in.
okay, yes, you head in, and the whole family is there. Davian, Adrian, Elvir, Stefania, and Stefania's husband, Dag Temescu. And they are very glad that they see that you've got their child, Yolanda, and they immediately run up to embrace her and shower you with thanks for retrieving her and ask you what happened, how you found her, or what the story was.
Basically, tell them the whole story.
Okay. Explaining to them, yeah, basically that it looked like the werewolves.
Captured by werewolves.
Yep.
Kicked their ass. Made them promise not to capture any more kids. I don't see how. Who was the guy that left? Was he just? I don't know. There's something about if you're lawful good, that's just freaking wrong. Stealing kids.
Well, no, it was yeah, I guess he was more he wasn't objecting to that. He was you got the impression that he didn't like that you had attacked them after they had surrendered and essentially agreed not to attack you. That's at least what he said to Van Richten in passing as he left, but you're not 100% sure he's lawful good though. So but yeah, that I don't see anything necessarily out of keeping with being lawful good in this. It's more of a after they had surrendered type of thing. But
Yeah, I get it, but it's not like it stopped either.
Well, we tell them that, and hopefully that their kid won't get captured again because they won't do it.
yes, well, they obviously apart from keeping a closer eye on things, but again, these guys aren't fighters, so they're kind of at
They're lovers.
yeah, they're a lover, not a fighter. They're a whiner, not a fighter. What is a person who brews wine, not a whiner?
A vinter?
A vinter. Yeah, I'm a vinter, not a fighter.
I like Weiner better.
Like,
Wine-
I want to go to Miami.
I
So
don't
whiny.
like it here.
This place is awful.
I really don't like it
Grape
here.
juice that burns.
Yes. Why don't we have any of the champagne doodle stomp anymore? Or Red Dragon Crush? So in any case, yes, they, as they mentioned before, they are, for now, pretty much for the rest of their lives indebted to you, and you pretty much can count on their support on anything you want to do. They'll get you supplies for brewing ale. They'll let you brew them there, or they'll even, if you show them how, devote a staff
I
to
thought
it.
they said they were going to make it based on a recipe that I had written for them while we were here before.
Yeah. If you provided them the recipe, then they will, and since they will source the ingredients, and they will still let you in on a cut of any profits that they make.
I don't care about that. I just want some.
if there's anyone left in Barovia alive after you guys get through with it, to sell wine to.
I'm hoping that we're not here in a month.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, they will. They say that they would be more than happy to put your guys' name on the wine or on the ale, or if you have actually, do you have an idea for what you'd want to call the ale?
I think we should call it Jugs. Jugs. This is then you can buy a jug of jugs.
Jugs ale.
Yeah,
Jugs ale.
by a jug of jugs.
Jug of jugs. Very well. They capture your likeness in a sketch so that they can put them on all the bottles. With you like holding up a.
I would like a jug of jugs.
It's very 6-year-old of us.
Yes. They should make them collectible and have each of your guys' faces on some of them. So.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I don't want my face. I actually want some jugs on it.
Different kind of
You could
jugs.
call it Strahd sucks.
Kind of like the St. Pauli girl, you know.
Strahd sucks.
Oh, wait.
Right.
Strahd can suck my jugs.
That'll be the slogan.
Yeah, we can put that below the title, sure. Actually, yeah, if they did that, they probably wouldn't get too many takers because there aren't too many adventuresome people out there who would be willing to risk buying a bottle with that emblazoned right on the front. But they applaud the sentiment nonetheless. So, in any case, they will begin brewing as soon as possible. While you're there, I assumed you wanted to stay for a little
I came
bit.
up with a name. Strahd's Really Pale Ale.
That's good.
Really pale.
You get 2 experience points for that. That's really great.
If we didn't get an inspiration automatically, you do now. Really pale. He might even find that funny. Anyway, while you guys are discussing the possible nomenclature of your new brand of ale, a wagon approaches the winery. And you see actually not a wagon, just a single figure on horseback. And you see that it is one of the Mardikovs from Valaki, from the Blue Water Inn. And I am completely spacing on her name. Give me a second here.
Ms.
Mardukov?
Yeah, Ms. Mardikov. What is her name? Oh, for frack's sake. Because Irwin's... Danica, that's it. Yes, Danica. Actually, Danica Doroko.
Isn't she a race car driver?
Yeah.
Danica was a race car driver?
She went on a date with Aaron Rodgers or something, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Yep.
They're
She's
dating.
married?
Danica
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yes.
I don't think her and Stenhouse got married.
No, she's married to, what's his... Markov, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and true to a Barovian naming tradition, I mean, they have that Slavic tradition. Her last name is actually Dorakova. They take the paternal
the
name
father-
type. Yeah, exactly.
Father's name, yeah.
So, but in any case, and you know what? And speaking of what, you guys know that these guys are were-ravens, so she wouldn't bother riding a horse. She would have actually flown directly over. But she approaches in human form, and she looks very frantic, and she says, "Thank goodness you are here," and she, indicating you guys. The Irwin has been... Oh, I don't know. He has been captured
The who?
But by who?
by an angry mob.
Where's this?
The who?
Who's this?
Why is there an angry mob? What?
No,
She...
but who got kidnapped?
well, Irwin is
Her husband.
Her husband,
Oh,
Irwin.
her husband.
Right. She says that after calming down a little bit, she explains that there was an incident in Valaki, that the Vistani from the encampment apparently thought that the town the guards and the town and basically the humans there were in league with you guys and were hiding you. So they came in and essentially were demanding that you be released from hiding. Otherwise, they were essentially going to attack the village. And Victor, if you remember, Victor Valakovich is the son of the previous burgomaster who has now assumed control. He had the guards round up all the Vistani who were there, which was probably close to a dozen of them.
I
And
just knocked at the door. I'll be right back.
okay, he had them essentially publicly hanged.
Jeez.
For-
That's a bit of an overreaction.
Well, they were threatening to attack the town and everything, and really, if you recall, public sentiment against the the Vistani are looked down upon and not very well liked. So this was really kind of a convenient excuse. All the townspeople were pretty much all gung ho about this. So it was a public spectacle. They apparently hung these 12 Vistani in the town square, and shortly after that, right as the execution was taking place, something happened where a bunch of the townspeople and guards they essentially dropped dead to the ground. And nobody's 100% sure what happened, but there were reports that a young child, Vistani child, was seen leaving the scene.
Oh my God, she did it again.
And so after this, the townspeople just started freaking out and were essentially demanding that. Well, Victor pretty much fled into his mansion and hasn't been seen since. The townspeople were now angry at you guys for having riled the Vistani up and were looking around for you, thinking you had been hidden. They actually went to the Blue Water Inn, and after ransacking the place and not finding you, they actually knocked Erwin out and carried him out.
Jeez.
Okay, where's he at?
They don't. She doesn't know. Danica doesn't know. She had to get her kids out first, so they took Were-Raven form and fled. She found them a safe hiding spot, but she immediately flew to the winery because she figured that was the best chance she had of finding you guys when you're not in Vallaki. So,
Well, damn.
that's
So do we need to go to the Vistani camp?
No, it sounds like we have to go to. Did the Vistani kidnap him, or did the townspeople?
Well, we should start with the Vistani because the town people hate us too.
Yeah, but I thought who captured her husband? The townspeople. Or the
the
Vistani?
townspeople were doing that after.
So to me, it sounds like we should go to town and get him out of trouble because the Vistani hate us anyway.
Yeah, but we're gonna show up in town and they're gonna be angry at us.
Yeah, but what are we gonna do if we go to the Vistani?
Didn't they try to kill us anyway?
Yeah, they tried to kill us. They don't like us.
The town?
No, the Vistani.
No, the Vistani.
Yeah, well now the town's gonna try to kill us too.
What the hell? I can't remember why the Vistani hates us. What did we do?
Because we wouldn't let them take Esmeralda.
Yeah, he was in love with Esmeralda and he wouldn't let him have her.
I don't recall striking the first blow. Esmeralda struck the first blow.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
We were
Damn
like, okay.
NPCs.
Well, and then you also, if you recall, what really inflamed things is when you went to the Vistani camp and confronted them, and then you attacked. I can't remember what set it off, but you guys got into a big fight with the leader, the Vistani leader,
And killed him.
and killed him right in front of the Arabelle, the child.
She lost her shit.
Yeah, she lost her shit. That's when she did that first manifestation of that as to now unexplainable power that essentially knocked everyone except you guys unconscious, including herself, and then you took off. And if
now
you
she just
recall,
killed a bunch of people in the town.
yeah, if you recall, there probably weren't too much more than a dozen Vistani left in the camp by the time she got around to doing that. Excuse me. But yeah, that's why the Vistani hate you, and now apparently the townspeople are after you because they thought that you stirred up the Vistani against them, and Erwin's been kind of caught in the middle and captured. and so you're not sure what is happening. But yeah, and she doesn't know where Irwin is, but she figures she's not going to be able to take on a whole mob of townspeople by herself.
Well, we can.
We excel at that.
I say we just take out the Vistani.
Take out everyone in Barovia.
Except the Mardikovs. It'll
Right.
just be us and the Mardikovs and Strahd.
Yeah. But
Hanging out.
Well, if we made a mess by our dealings with the Vistani and that pissed off Vallaki, I would say we go to the Vistani first and then go to Vallaki.
That was my opinion as well.
And if they don't like us, they still want to kill us, bring it on, bitches.
Okay, so yeah, that Danica will accompany you. It's again, Barovi's not very big, so you can easily walk. But she flew over because she was in a hurry, obviously, to get here. But she will accompany you if you desire. Although she isn't very good at fighting, and she may want to break off at some point to see her kids are safe. She actually
We
hid
don't
them.
want her to die too, so
I mean,
she can watch.
She can scout for us.
Yeah.
How about she stays Raven, and then at the first sign of trouble, she flies away?
That actually sounds like a very sound plan. She says so. She will do that. She'll kind of fly up and ahead of the party, and if she sees anything, she'll bail.
Let
But
us know.
yeah, or
And
she'll
then
try and
bail.
let you know exactly. Okay, so Van Richten is also he's actually very interested in finding out more about this child. He was interested before, but now he's doubly
Yeah.
interested.
Crazy.
But so you guys are going to set off then. It's still probably, I'm trying to think when was that battle? Was it at night? I think you would, we'll say that it's about midday at this point.
Have we long rested?
We haven't rested in a while because I have almost nothing.
Yeah. I was gonna say we should maybe do that
catch
before
some
we
Z's?
take off.
Yeah, we should catch C's.
Well, how about I would say that it would be, you would have
Or
been
short rest.
long rested right after you delivered the child back, or after you returned
Okay.
Yolanda, and this would have occurred the following day. So you guys can treat yourselves as fully long rested. So it would probably be close to maybe like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
So let's go
Alright,
visit the
Let's
Vistani.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, fine. I'm go wherever.
Yep.
All right. So you
Show me
guys,
whose butt to kick.
I would say probably about 3 rolls to get to Vallaki or the Vistani camp. Either way.
Okay.
So I guess who would ever want to be next?
There you go.
13. Okay, you make it back to the crossroads without issue. Who's next?
Tim.
Jim?
D20.
Yep.
10. And you're staying to the Old Svalch Road, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just follow the road.
Okay, so you would have gotten to the crossroads at that. So one more should get you to Vallaki.
All right.
One.
Oh,
Excellent.
there we go.
Oh.
Yeah, this is actually, this is counterintuitively the lower you roll, the better.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Good then.
Yes, so you
Yeah, good roll.
got as good as you could get. So you reach the trail leading off to the Vistani camp. How do you intend to approach?
Guns ablaze.
Straight on, I would think.
Okay,
I would
so-
think we just go straight on.
Can we go in at least with our, I don't know, hands up or
Well,
I don't know.
we don't have to
Don't be
looking like we're
aggressive.
coming in to kill people. Yeah, just come
Yeah.
walking up. You
Okay.
know, I guess keep our
Oh,
weapons
I was
on
not
our
on the
backs.
same page.
Yeah.
if you want to come in and launch fireballs first,
Yeah. Just launch fireballs, ask questions later.
what you could do is let's launch 3 rounds of fireballs at the tent and see what happens.
Here we go.
Just like the Milwaukee police. Yeah.
Mainly, what I was
I-
trying to ascertain is, I mean, are you approaching via the main road, or were you using stealth?
Yes, I
or
think we should approach
Okay.
the main road.
Main road, and yeah, not necessarily like we're going to attack them or anything. Not
Right.
being aggressive.
Right.
Okay. So you approach the camp. You know right where it is. You've been here several times before, and you draw near to the hill. And if you recall, the hill was surrounded by those ring of houses that the Dusk Elves had been living in. Who, unfortunately, they were all slaughtered by the Vistani the last time you guys came here. So
Which
there,
I believe also led to our.
yeah, that's one of the
Not liking
things exactly that led to the encounter.
Did we like the Dusk Elves?
Yeah, we liked them.
Yeah,
we
well,
met one.
yeah, Casimir was one of the Dusk Elves,
We love
So
all
what?
people.
but he is now the last Dusk Elf in Barovia, as far as you're aware.
Unless he gets his sister back.
Man, there's a lot of big dicks here, man. Giant dicks.
Well, it is.
I
Barovia.
haven't really been looking, but if you have, I mean.
Okay, I mean assholes.
Well, it is the curse of.
Not
Strahd.
looking for that either.
Anyway, as you approach the hill, you see that the tent is still at the top of the hill, and you do still see the ring of wagons. But you draw near, you don't see any of the horses that they traditionally had outside, and you don't hear any voices or any sounds of conversation or see any movement at the top of the camp.
Okay.
I think we just approach.
Okay. Yeah, you approach, and it appears that the Vistani camp is deserted. Not necessarily like they packed up and left, because the wagons are still here. Although you notice that most of them, the doors, well, no, a few of them, the doors have been left open. But the horses, you see a lot of hoof tracks leading away from the camp that look fairly recent. But you otherwise see no sign of the Vistani.
Okay, so I'm gonna look for a piece of paper and a pen. I'm gonna write down a note. Hey, jerkweeds, we're going to Vallaki. If you have an issue with us, come meet us there.
Can we
Signed.
make it slightly less antagonistic?
Hey,
All right,
jerk-
get a new piece of paper.
Fine, I'll crumple it up. Get a new piece of paper.
How about more like?
Okay, Mr. Paladin, you be diplomatic. You
all
do
right,
it.
all right. I will write. Donnie, we understand that you have issue with us. We came to discuss it with you. Found you gone. We will go to Vallaki to discuss with them. But we are not in league with either Vallaki or you. So please, if you have issue, take it with us.
Hugs and kisses.
Love.
Kisses and love. Strahd sucks.
SOS.
Strahd sucks. Don't forget there's a new beer coming.
Yeah.
P.S. There is a new ale coming out.
Yes.
Try it.
Strahd's really pale ale is going to be awesome.
Strahd
Now we'll
sucks.
just say
Make sure you
You know.
drink it in big jugs.
we'll just sign it. I don't know. What do we call ourselves? The party?
The party.
The people you
Signed the party.
the people who you hate? I don't know. What do you want to? Or do we just leave it
The
unsigned?
People's Republic against Strahd.
Oh no, the Fantastic Four.
Avengers of
The Fantastic Four. We're
Fantastic
four. We're
Four.
fantastic. Come on.
We're fantastic.
The Fantastic Four.
Fan force stick.
Fan- that's too much like foreskin.
Absorb a fifth?
Fuck.
Get it?
Fox Force 4.
Fox Force 4.
We now
Fucking
have a fourth
Vallaki.
member, though. An NPC.
Oh, Van Richten says you don't need to include me in your group.
This is embarrassing enough. Don't talk to me.
I don't know why I'm still following you people around.
You guys suck.
In any case, they'll probably know who it is if.
Well, I'll sign my name, John Hancock, and you guys can sign
Right.
your real names, and they know who we are, right?
Very likely, yes.
The
Yep.
4 of us.
Jugs,
So down.
can you make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh boy.
Can he?
Who?
I
Which
can.
one of us?
I don't know.
Jugs.
Jugs.
Yay!
Okay. So, Van Richten says, so our plan then is to go to Vallaki.
Yep.
I guess.
Hang on, I got to check something here.
So we got to rescue, what's his face?
Yep. And then we gotta go kill Strahd. Because we don't like him.
Okay, so you guys leave the camp and head into Vallaki. And I'll bring up the Vallaki map here. So you guys would enter right about there.
So they're
And
called the party.
yeah, pretty much.
Everywhere we go, there's a party.
We're the party.
Okay, so you guys approach the gate. The gate is actually standing open. You see no guards.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Guess we go in.
Shit on a stick.
All right, let's go in.
Let's go in.
Okay.
This is not going to be good, Mav.
Is there any
Get it all.
smoke? Do we see smoke or anything rising from the center of the town?
Nothing major that stands out as being like something blew up or anything, but
All right.
you
Like a bonfire.
yeah, you see the houses definitely all look like they're closed up. But it's midday, but you don't see anyone walking on the street. The shutters of the houses are closed. As you pass St. Andrew's Church, though, you do hear the sound of kind of mournful, low singing coming from within of multiple voices.
Ah,
We should go in and like,
Yeah.
hey everybody, how
It's
you
us. How you doing?
It's the party.
Long time no see. Woot woot. Raise the roof.
Well, as you enter, it's actually as you draw near the church, it's not coming from within the church itself. It's actually, you notice it's coming from the graveyard behind the church. And you do see a group of about maybe 24 people gathered around an area of the cemetery, and it sounds like they're singing mournfully.
Somebody's dead. You know who I blame for all this? I blame the GM because he's the one who made this up.
Yeah.
Well, the world keeps moving around you guys, so.
Yep.
And
I
that's
think we should approach that too.
okay. So
As we're slowly approaching, can we make out that they're burying someone, or
as you draw nearer, within about 50 feet or so, you can between people. I mean, it's not like it's a huge crowd of people, but you can see between the people standing around that there are mounds of earth. So it seems to be likely that they're probably interring one or more persons there.
okay, mounds, so multiple.
Multiple, right. In fact,
Yeah.
they're kind of standing in a fairly large not a full circle, but
Okay.
it looks like it actually. And as you draw nearer, first off, the singing starts to trail off as people become aware that you're approaching. And second, as they turn, you see behind them that there are, in fact, 6 graves with caskets in front of them. And the people just stop. Eventually, they all kind of stop and trail off and just watch you in complete silence as you approach.
Hey everybody.
I don't think it's a good time for us to make out then.
No.
And so you draw near, and no one says a word. They just kind of look at you, and you definitely can. You don't even need to make a perception check to see there's definitely hostility there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't do anything, dudes. It's not us. Come on, Mr.
Do we-
Diplomat Paladin. What do you say?
Do we recognize anyone, or are these all strange faces to us?
These. You maybe kind of faintly recognize some of the guards. There's like 2 guards there. That you-
We don't recognize any of the other folks.
No, you don't recognize most of the people there. And in fact, the guards that you recognize, partially maybe the reason why you didn't immediately recognize them is that they are not, in fact, in uniform. They're dressed
Okay.
in common clothing. But the caskets, as you draw near, though, you notice now the caskets are open. And actually, there you see that they are, in fact, all guards laying in the caskets in their full guard dress.
Hmm.
And
How
so
many
one of
revivifies do we have?
And as you approach, one of the guards that you recognize is the only one who's brave enough to speak, and even he doesn't sound enraged. He sounds more just very tired, and he says, "You have a lot of guts sorting your face here."
Well, we heard about things happening here in town. We honestly had nothing to do with it, and we wanted to come and see what we could do to make things.
Right.
I wasn't going to say right, but
Better.
better. If we could improve the situation.
Okay, so now should that be a persuasion or a bluff check?
Well,
We're gonna try to bluff.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Ernest.
I can make a persuasion if you like.
Yeah, I am actually. There's no bluff check, but there would be. Okay, that's a fairly good roll. So the guard, you can see his demeanor changes a bit, like from openly hostile to, like I said, just more tired. And he says, "You say you had nothing to do with these people's deaths, but the Vistani creature obviously killed them in your name."
They killed them in our name?
Well, they came looking to see where you were because you had supposedly betrayed them. When you weren't here, they promised to attack the town, so we had to defend ourselves. But in the process of defending ourselves, then he goes on and basically explains the same scenario that Donica had.
Well, I explained that we just came here from the Vistani camp, which we found vacant, because we were going to go to them first to try to get them to lay off the town, but they are all missing. And in fact, we've been gone for what now? More than a week, right? It's been several days.
Wow, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And I explained, look, we've been off at, I forget the name of the tomb we were in,
The
and we've been,
temple.
Amber
Arden
Temple.
Boss
Temple.
Pole.
we were attacked by rocks. We went to the, I forget the name of the abandoned village where we
Krezk?
fought
Res.
and then we were attacked by werewolves. We rescued a bunch of children from the werewolves.
There's a bunch
Were
of.
any of
If you guys are missing kids, there might be some
Yeah, are
kids.
there any were any of those kids from Wallaki?
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about the kids. Yeah,
We rescued a bunch of kids from werewolves. They are now over at the winery.
yeah. Davian would have agreed to take care of them. He didn't suggest you bring them along with you to Vallaki just because it sounds like the situation would be a little dangerous. But so yes, they are presently at the winery.
So we've been trying to defy Strahd.
And as soon as you say that, some of the people make a sign of the evil eye.
Yeah, and I said, look, we're sorry that what is happening, but all of this comes down to Strahd and his evil machinations over Barovia, which we are trying to put an end to.
They say, well, the soldier says, "We want nothing to do with your plans. We
That's
just
fine.
want you to
we don't
leave."
ask you to. We're not asking you to get involved. We never wanted you to be involved. We're just sad that you're the fallout of what is going on.
So are we. Now, if you don't mind, we would like to bury our dead in peace.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone happen to know where what's his name is?
Who?
Do you know where who captured him? It was the village people who captured Mr.
Oh, Irwin?
YMCA.
Yes. Do you know where Irwin is?
Um,
Did they bring him to the YMCA?
let me see.
Yes. He's the Indian.
Um, the guard says, "Oh, if you mean Martikov, yes, we thought that he would be harboring you, but
What?
we found that out soon enough, and once people calmed down a bit, we were able to return him.
Oh,
He should be at the Blue Water Inn."
well, that's good. Because he had nothing to do with any of this.
And at that, the raven, who had been kind of perched on top of the steeple of the church, immediately takes off towards the
Oh,
Blue
okay.
Water Inn.
Sure.
Fair enough.
All right, well, we will leave you in peace.
Yeah, they don't
all we
even
want.
acknowledge you, saying that. They
All right, that's
turn around and start mournfully singing their funeral dirge again.
Mm.
Fine, then no peace for you.
Well, at least they're not actively looking to kill us.
Well, your
Right.
persuasion check was good enough that they didn't actively attack you. But it looks like I mean, if you can picture what happened based on what their description was, is that they were hanging these Vistani, and all of a sudden a whole bunch of them dropped dead. And this girl, Vistani girl, looks off or wanders off, and everyone kind of immediately puts two and two together, and this kind of mob hysteria arose because of that. You do, though, see posted. I'm assuming you're leaving the church at this point.
Yep.
Let's go to the Blue Water Inn.
Okay. Yeah, along the street again. The houses definitely seem to be shut up tight. You don't see any guards on the street. In fact, you're not certain how many guards are left, because obviously 6 of them were killed in this. Apparently, the other people that died didn't warrant a funeral, or they are going to have them separately afterwards. But there are no guards on the streets. You do see signs posted, though, posting for wanted, dead or alive, or actually dead, any Vistani found. And there's no signature or anything on these signs. It looks fairly hastily scrawled on a piece of parchment and nailed to a post. So obviously, tensions or heat, emotions were very high from the townspeople here. But things have seemed to have calmed down now, and now it's more of a kind of they're terrified, and they don't want anything to do with anything that might be Vistani.
Okay.
You head to the Blue Water Inn. That's in the center of town. There you find Danica reunited with Erwin. Erwin looks like he's been beat up, but otherwise not too much the worse for wear. But he's very worried about what's happened. And I'm assuming, clue him in on where you've been and you had nothing to do with this, and explain the situation to him. But he's very worried for several reasons. One, there are no guards left. As far as he could tell, any of the guards that survived now have abandoned their post. There's no leadership of the village. If Victor is still around, he's locked himself in his manor in the burgomaster's mansion. And third, the townspeople in general, he's worried what's going to come next, because the people are in a very ugly mood, and without any guards, the gates have been left open. He's worried that wolves or other creatures might come in and attack at night, and so on and so forth.
Why doesn't somebody take control of this town then? It's a perfect time for that.
He says, yes, but who?
You.
I am not one for leadership.
Who is?
Well, that's a good question. We've had many here who would have been ideal for the role. Arena would have been good. Father Petrov before he was killed. Yulian, his acolyte, is too young. I'm not sure of any others.
Irina kidnapped or something, right?
As far as you're aware, Irina is a captive in
Right.
of
Strahd.
Strahd.
Ah.
He says possibly the Edorseks are good folk, but they're getting up there in years. I don't think they'd be up to. I'm more worried about some strong men trying to assume power.
Right.
Do you have any suggestions? You've been here long enough.
I mean, you
About
know
who
the
could be
people
guards?
better than us. These are your people,
Well, yeah, but
your friends.
he knows more of people on a customer patron type of relationship. I mean, he says there's lots of people who could, but he's not sure who would be interested or who would really be appropriate out of those who would be interested.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to look around and make inquiries because he thinks it's a good idea, but
I think Clytus should take over.
We'll leave Clytus here.
Okay.
Clytus, you've inherited a village.
I guess. You can have it. Where is the Burgermeister?
the Burgomaster's mansion is down here.
Just-
No, but no one's seen him yet. That you said for
Yeah.
Oh, the son, the burgomaster, died.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Well, yeah,
he's
Victor
the new
is-
Burgermeister.
He locked himself in the house.
Yeah,
He's
after
the new Burgermeister.
right. The mantleship fell to him by heredity, and legally he is actually still the Burgomaster. But
Let's go talk to him.
Yeah, let's go kick him in the ass and tell him to
Get his
Quit
shit
hiding.
together.
Grow
shit
some
together.
balls.
grow a pair.
okay, so as you're discussing that, you actually hear the sound of hooves, several hooves,
Uh-oh.
and the rolling of a carriage moving at high speed coming into town.
All right, we go out and look and check it out.
Okay, you see Strahd's carriage
Oh,
come roaring through the center of town, actually. It's moving at all speed past the Blue Water Inn and looks to be making a turn south towards the Burgomaster Mansion.
all right, let's follow.
Let's go.
Okay,
Away we go.
you, I'm assuming, move at all speed to
Yes.
try and get there as soon as you can. You
Fast as
can't
my
keep...
little dwarf feet will carry me.
That's right. So you can't quite keep pace with the carriage, but you get maybe halfway there. You're right in front of Blinsky's, and you see the carriage is stopped, and you see a figure cloaked in black step from it and approach the mansion.
Fireball.
Approach Blinsky's or approach the Burgermeister's?
The Burgomaster's
No,
mansion.
we're
Oh, okay.
in front of Blinsky.
Yeah, you
Oh,
guys are
can
located
see
in
it.
front of Blinsky's. So.
All right, we keep running toward the.
Okay, yeah, you move at all speed. The figure approaches, and you see it basically raise a fist and bash the door. It falls immediately inward, and it enters the mansion.
Is it close enough for us to hear him or hear him to hear us?
You would be about maybe, what's the scale of this map? 250 feet away?
Oh, all right. Well,
I
we
can
keep
get there in
running.
2 rounds.
Less than a football field.
There's a carriage and a horse in front of us.
Well, it's in front of the mansion.
It's in front of the mansion. You guys have, yeah, you're in
Let's
front of
fuck it up.
Blinsky's.
Burn his carriage. Sounds fun to me.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's try to stop whatever this guy's doing.
Oh, this guy, it's Strahd. What do you mean?
Is it Strahd?
Yeah.
We don't know that. We just see a figure in black.
Okay.
Anyway, you continue running at full speed. So yeah, you'd reach there in a couple rounds, really. So you reach the front. Yeah, there is. You definitely recognize Strahd's carriage. You took a ride in it before, if you recall, when you were
Yeah,
invited
yeah.
to dinner. And those two horses are leading it. The front door is still open, and from inside, you hear. First of all, you hear you see a bright flash in the windows, and a kind of a roll of thunder, like someone set off a lightning bolt in there. And then you hear kind of a high-pitched scream, like, ah!
All right. Before we do anything, I'm going to take my axe out and try to hack off one of the wheels.
Oh, the carriage? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
at the axle.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually, it's not like it's magically impervious to your attack or anything, so it essentially react like a normal carriage
I'm
would.
sure it'll take a minute or half a minute or something.
Yeah, it's a pretty big wagon, so it's kind of like chopping a small tree down. So you start hacking away. Anything else you guys want to do?
What do you guys want to do?
I mean, I was just gonna try to light it on fire, but if you're gonna do that, that's fine.
Oh, no. I don't want to wreck it. I just want to.
I don't want to wreck it. I just want to vandalize it.
No. I want to make it so he can't ride off in it.
That's kind of wrecking it.
Are we looking for the Burgermaster? Is he missing?
Well, no
No,
one's
he's
seen
holed
him
up
in
in
a
the
while.
He's holed up in the
probably
mansion.
holed up in the mansion.
And,
So he's
and
right
we
in-
think Strahd might have went in the mansion.
Right.
Someone went to the
Someone
mansion and we saw a big lightning.
I'm
You
gonna,
guys can run in. I'll catch up.
Yeah, I'm
chop the
gonna
wheel off.
go in.
I'm gonna go into.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to run towards the door.
hmm
Okay.
And I will run in as soon as I'm done chopping the wheel off.
Okay, so Clytus, you finish. You're going to try and finish chopping the wheel. While you're doing that, make a perception check.
All right. Yeah, with my awesomely high perception, I get a 7.
Okay. All right, so you guys run towards the mansion. The rest of you guys run towards the mansion, and as soon as you get within, like, maybe 5 feet of it, you hear a ghostly sound, the sound of many voices raised in lamentation in the back of your mind.
All of us, or just the guys going?
Just the guys at the door.
Okay.
And
Okay,
you
what do
guys,
say?
you guys kind of recognize this sound.
It's that one dude.
It's the same chorus of lamentation that you heard when you drew near to Rahadin.
Yeah, that guy. There's his name.
Who the hell's Rahadi? Sorry.
Who is
Strahd's assistant.
Strahd's
whoever.
chamberlain that you had
Oh,
previously killed and supposedly had been raised from the dead.
Oh, well, you can kill him again.
That would piss Strahd off.
I'm assuming that's who's messing with the Burgermeister.
I call out the Burgermeister's name. Dude, are you okay?
There's no response, but the chorus of voices becomes louder.
Rahadin,
Rahadi,
what the hell did you do?
we're gonna kick your ass again, dude. You wanna die again?
Get your ass down here.
Okay, so yeah, if you enter the mansion proper, you actually do see a figure descending the steps, and you recognize it as Rahadin. And he's carrying a body that's hanging limp in his arms down the stairs.
Don't drop the body. Put the body down.
He doesn't slow his descent down the stairs.
What the hell are you doing?
He says, "This one is dead." And the voices are becoming louder in your head. And he says, "Stand aside."
Then set him down. We'll take him.
He looks down at them and then looks at you and says, "I remember you. You killed me."
Yep.
Clearly not. I see you alive.
He looks down at the body and he says, "No matter." And he drops it on the ground, or on the floor of the hallway, and says, "This one's rule of Valaki is now forfeit,
Oh.
Why?
because he was incapable of rule. It is
Can't
quite
argue that.
obvious. Townspeople are dying.
I can't argue with that, but who is capable of rule?
A new ruler will be chosen."
And you'll kill him too when he sucks?
if necessary. This one did not live up to Strahd's expectations.
Did you kill him?
Yes.
Yes.
So we like the Were Raven, right? That's her. That's the wife, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we like her, right?
Yeah.
Danica?
But
Yeah.
this isn't her husband.
Oh, I thought this was her
No,
husband.
this,
No,
this
no.
was
This
the
is the
kid,
punk
the
kid.
burgomaster.
This was the punk kid who was hiding out,
Oh.
who was
Playing
like
with
the weird.
spells up in his room.
Oh,
Yeah.
that weird,
Yeah.
And
weird
he-
kid.
Yeah.
He was kind of like Pugsley, and he was all creepy. And
We're not necessarily attached to him in any
so
way.
No.
him dying does not cause me any kind of sadness.
Oh.
He was kind of
Yeah.
a putz.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
not
it's okay to kill a
Strahd.
putz, but it's I'm in
Uh,
trouble.
This was
I'm
an
just saying. I'm just saying he was mild. He wasn't exactly better off for the people of Vallaki. So,
this,
however, I still want to kill this dude. So we should.
right.
Although I'm downstairs with the wagon, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
you don't. Your opinion
No.
doesn't
All we
matter.
did was enter. We entered the door. We're
Yeah.
just. We should be able to see you still.
Well, if
He's
I
not
can
go-
hear any of this, I'm gonna be like, "When do we kill him?"
Yeah, the voices aren't really loud enough for you to really
Okay.
detect what's happening here. But
Okay.
Rahadin says, now if you will excuse me, I am awaited by my master.
Yeah, we don't like him either, and I stand in his way.
Okay, the chorus of voices rises up, but this time much, much stronger than you experienced in the past. And
Sweet.
let's.
You need to do something.
Yes, you need to do something.
You get to roll.
Yes.
I do.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Actually, this would be everyone except for Clytus.
Yeah.
Holy crap, Rowan.
Woo! He likes it. He wants more.
Ah!
Oh.
Take your inspiration, Jugs.
I'm taking my Tides of Chaos.
Okay. So that would trigger that next time you cast a spell, that would trigger, right?
Yep.
Adrin, yours was a 12. Okay, and I guess I just got to roll for Van Richten as well.
Oh, he went into?
Actually, no, he'd probably be hanging out by Clytus now that I think about it.
Is he helping beat down the wagon too?
He's not beating it down, no. He's just kind of standing there shaking his head.
Why are you guys so angry at a wagon?
He's probably bemused.
Yeah, he's got
Look
a
at this idiot dwarf.
perpetually bemused expression on his face.
Why don't we get a ride with this guy instead?
Or we kill him and take his wagon. But I already chopped the wheel off.
Yeah, I was gonna say take his wagons out of the question now.
Okay, so
Put a wheel back on.
Rowan, you made your save. Jugs and Adrin, Jugs, even with the advantage, you did not make your
Really?
save. Nope.
18 is not good enough.
No,
Wow.
it would have been before, but something's changed. So if you made your save, you take half of this. So 23, it's
Wow.
psychic damage. So it'd be 11 if you made your save.
Ow.
And he says, I have no time to deal with you. And he disappears.
Do I see him now coming to get me?
Come
You can make a perception check if you like.
Yeah, with my wonderful super high perception. What about Van Richten? Does he get perception?
Yeah, I just rolled to see if he noticed something too. He did not.
Did we chop the wheel off at least?
Yes, you have finally succeeded in separating this wheel from the wagon base. And
Nice.
the corner of the wagon, yeah, clumps down to the ground. Inside the wagon, you hear a, ah!
Who's inside?
Inside the wagon? You don't know. Well, actually, at this point, the one of the curtains in the wagon moves aside, and you see a familiar face looking out. It's not Strahd. It's actually a fellow you recognize as Ernst Lamarck, who was formerly, I guess, an employee is the best way to describe it, of the Lady Wachter, if you
Yeah.
recall.
This mother.
Well, he kind of helped you guys out. He kind of turned against her, or didn't, if not turned against her, basically dumped all his loyalty to her, and assisted you guys. And you guys let him live because he essentially held up his end of the bargain.
Yeah.
And now
Damn
he's
it.
trying to get the Burgomaster taken out because he wants to take power. That's
Right.
all I'm assuming.
Well, he's in the back of this wagon, and he looks out, and he sees you guys looking up at him. Well, at least you and Van Richten, Cletus.
Yeah.
And he recognizes you. Actually, he probably would recognize Rictavio as well. But he's like, his eyes kind of get wide, and the curtain quick closes again.
So, is there a rider there? Driving it, I mean? Driver?
There was no one in front of the wagon.
All right. I go. Did we knock the wheel off? Are we done
Yeah,
now?
you
Yes.
already got that.
Yeah, the
Okay,
corner of the
so I
wagon
go-
is on the ground.
I go up and open his carriage, I guess.
Okay. You try to open it, and it will not open.
I say, "What brings you here?"
Inside, there's only silence.
All right, then I take the axe and open the door.
Yeah, we're gonna come out at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say at this point, you three guys, unless you want to search the manor, or are you going to come outside?
Actually,
I think
Rowan, do you want to bring him back to life?
why?
I mean, did he deserve
Should-
to die?
That's, I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
a
didn't
judge.
he just died like less than a minute ago.
Yeah,
right?
you can bring him back. So I'm just. Is it fair for us to let him die? If we don't have to?
All right. I'll try that revivify on him.
Okay. Okay, yeah. That would do it. You actually bring him back to life, and you see his eyes fly open, and it's like, "Ah!" And he instantly clasps his hands to his ears, and then kind of realizes that the sound he's expecting to hear isn't there anymore. And then he kind of blinks and looks around at you guys, and what happened?
You were just
died.
killed by Strahd's assistant.
And then he kind of shudders and says, "Oh, that one, yes, I remember now."
Get upstairs. Go hide.
No, he should get his butt out here and lead.
Well, he says, "Good idea," and he takes off up the stairs.
Not right now. I mean, we got other things to deal with.
Yeah, we can
right
deal
now.
with him later. I just didn't think it was fair for us to just let him die when we don't have to.
Right.
Yep.
So so where is everybody at this point?
So we're inside revivifying him, and I guess I don't know. The other two are outside.
And then heading out. I guess.
And I'm
once
back
we're
in-
done, we're gonna head out. Yeah.
Okay,
And I'm opening the door on the other carriage forcefully with an axe.
okay. So you're raining blows upon the door of the carriage, causing it to rock. Van Richten again is kind of off to the side. I don't know what's up with your VC window, Paul. It just keeps flipping around.
Paul's not even there.
It's not him then. Whatever.
Yeah, definitely not him.
No, what is up with that?
VC is still not doing anything for me on my
It's
end.
freaking out on my side too. Oh, some point we're gonna maybe need to investigate Roll20's native again, chat again,
Right.
but not now. In any case, you are Clytus. You are renewing your attacks upon the wagon, and the rest of you guys come out, and that's basically what you see. You see one of the wagon wheels has been chopped off, and Clytus is now going after the wagon itself.
Nice.
I'm sorry, the door of the wagon.
Clytus?
What's that?
Is he in there?
Is he in there?
I mean, we don't know why you're banging on the door, and
I say, yeah. I tell him what's going on and why I'm using persuasive means to get in.
Where did the other guy go?
yeah, did you see whatever his name is?
Didn't see nothing.
Everyone can make another perception check.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Clytus is just, his entire world right now is chopping down this door.
Chopping that door. He doesn't care about anything else.
I am chopping stuff, man.
I'm
Laser
chopping broccoli. Rowan, though, you and actually also Van Richten, who taps Clytus on the shoulder and points, you see that around the Burgomaster's mansion, all of the buildings adjoining it, you see essentially tons of bats have descended and are just sitting atop watching.
Cool. I say, hey, Strahd, we could end this anytime you like.
And as you say that, this kind of insubstantial mist comes out from around one of the buildings and actually solidifies into a humanoid form. And you hear Strahd's voice emerge from it and says, "What have you done with my carriage?"
Improved it.
What have you done with the Burgomaster?
The form solidifies, and it does appear to be Strahd himself who is manifested in front of you.
Oh, hey, Strahd. How's it going? Long time no see.
Indeed. And he begins walking towards you and
You
says,
killed the Burgomaster. You took 2 of our friends.
I take out my plus against Strahd's sword. Does it glow or anything? Sing?
which
Hum?
you pull out the sun sword?
I pull
No,
out the
that's,
sun sword.
He has the sun sword. I have the great sword that is. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I pull out the great sword that's. What is it?
It's got 4d6 slashing damage against Strahd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 46 stress slashing in addition.
Okay.
He pulls out that sword. I'll pull out the sun sword and
Okay.
I just dropped the axe that I had.
All right, you just drop the axe. You whip out your great sword, and Adrian pulls out the sun sword, and it's like basically like it works basically just like a lightsaber. It's like vroom, and this big blindingly white light, like essentially like a sunlight, glows from it. You can see that it actually illuminates a good circle area, and when Strahd sees that, you see his eyes just widen. And
I pull out that holy symbol also.
okay, you pull out the holy symbol of Ravenkind, and again, you also feel its holy might kind of thrumming through your arms, and Strahd sees that and does another double take with that.
Well, shit, I'm gonna pull out my junk. I don't know.
Strahd yawns.
I say we pull our best Ghostbusters and go get him.
I got shit. I don't know.
Yeah, Strahd is like, he seems shocked at when you presented those 2 items, and he says, "Where did you get those?"
Where are you?
Hang on a second. Let me show you, and I'm gonna hit him.
Okay, so we're gonna do a combat.
It's on, baby.
That's why we're here, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Okay, let's see here. I thought I had a village. Hang on.
It takes a village.
It does take a
Those
village.
rods.
It takes a village.
Where did it go?
Strahd.
Okay, I wasn't sure where this was going to occur. So give me a second here.
Wasn't it supposed to occur in his mother's tomb?
Yeah, the tarot reading said that that would be where you're guaranteed to find him. Okay, I'm going to put this... Let me get rid of some stuff here. I'm actually going to put this in the town square because that's where I've essentially got it set up already. Let's see. Oh, we need Van Richten, don't we? Van Richten and his tiger.
Oh yeah, Van Richten doesn't have anything good against Strahd either. At least I'm not alone.
Nice. He's got a tiger.
So I'm just going to move you guys to this map. And again, you're not actually in the town square.
We get it.
Although you're actually not too far off. You're only a block away. But for now, let's just say this is where you are.
Strahd, let's take this to the town square. All right.
And I'm going to say, let's see, Clytus, let's say this was the wagon right here. It even has a wagon wheel on the ground.
Yeah,
next.
look at that.
That's perfect. Okay, so we'll say that the Burgomaster's mansion that you guys just ran out of is right here.
Okay, so we just ran out of there.
Yeah. And Van Richten and his tiger would have been right there. Adrin, you would have been right out in front there too, and with the other two guys. And Strahd would be standing here. Adrin, you would have actually been like right there.
Right there I am.
Oh, so he's that far away from us. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll initiative, we can
Boy.
begin.
Okay, so hang on a second. I didn't know he was that far away.
Yeah.
If
And
he
with
was,
those initiative rolls, woohoo!
no, I guess I don't think I would have taken out the sword, but if he was that far away and along with everything, I thought he was like right next to us.
No, he was approaching.
Then I would have let him get closer.
Why didn't my initiative go? I have my thing selected.
Try again.
Yeah,
Hey.
there we go.
Oh man, we are going fast.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Come on, he could roll a 2 or something.
Give
He
me
has 0.
Come on, Paul. Roll better than us. No.
Oh, that's great. That's a great start.
Well, okay, so hang on a second. This is what I'm trying to get to. Is if he wasn't close enough for me to be able to
Right,
walk up and hit, I wouldn't have.
right.
I would have took the sword out, but I wouldn't have attacked him yet. I would have waited.
Okay.
He's
Well,
55
once
feet
you guys
away.
drew those weapons out and presented the holy symbol, he would attack. So we're
Okay, that
Right.
sounds okay.
Yeah.
So we're good. All right.
so I just need to roll his initiative here.
Roll a 2.
Roll a 2. Roll a 2.
Oh my god, I rolled a natural 20. What the hell is his initiative at here?
Just give him a 30 and it'll be fine.
Okay.
Whatever.
Does it matter? He's going.
He's first. You rolled greater than 11, so.
Oh, and I gotta add Van Richten here. And I'll just have his tiger go in his turn. Oh, what is his?
Thank God we have Van Richten at least.
How do I do this? I think I can roll. Oh yeah, it's got a little initiative.
Can you roll him a 20? Oh my god!
That sucked. Okay. Oh well.
Yeah.
This is starting off well, you guys.
An auspicious start to our combat debut.
Yeah, with Strahd. Okay, so it looks like Strahd goes first.
That's not good to hear.
Come on. Bring it on.
It's my favorite thing to hear.
Yeah, he really does not like that sword or that holy symbol.
Oh, and you guys are next to me. God damn it.
So yeah, he's Gotta pull up his shtick here. He's got a lot he can do. I'm just trying to remember what I chose here for his spells.
Be right back. Hungry, buddy?
Um. Yeah, he actually disappears.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have oh, what the hell is it?
Fairy fire?
Alright.
Dave, you have fairy fire?
No. Disappeared?
Yep. And Rowan, it is your turn.
Get him, boy. Sick him.
I can't see him, so. Let's see if I have anything like that.
Well, if you do that Spirit Guardians thing, he'll take damage just by approaching us.
True. Yeah. It wouldn't hurt. So yeah,
Which since you don't have a target, right? I don't know.
right. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that on.
All right. Actually, first let me see this here.
Oh, that turns me on.
Okay, so Rowan. Well, first of all, Adrin, let me. This sword is illuminating in a 15-foot aura around you.
Oh.
You don't even need to. Basically, whenever it's activated, it does that, so you don't need to focus on that.
Yep.
Rowan, the icon of Raven, or not the holy icon of Raven kind. I think that has a power, but I don't think it's automatic.
No, it does have a power. I have to do it, but
Yeah,
wait,
you have to
hang
expend
on.
charges to do that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
it doesn't say I have to see him. It says vampires spawn within 30 feet of the holy symbol. When it flares, must make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw. Or be paralyzed for 1 minute. So, chances he's gonna do better than a 15.
So if you want to do the hold vampires action,
Yeah, that
okay.
expends 1 charge.
All right, so you expend 1 charge. So vampires within.
Would he have been within 30 feet?
Give me a second here.
Would have been pretty close.
Okay. This
Yeah,
is
he
an
may have moved, you
instantaneous
don't know.
thing.
Right. Yeah.
Let's make a
Why
DC.
don't I move to let me move myself before I expend the charge. I'm gonna walk to there and then I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll spend 1 charge.
Okay. So you expend 1 charge. There's this kind of a flare of radiant energy that kind of goes out in a sphere and then goes back. You don't hear any sound.
Can't tell anything.
I guess that would have been temporary too, so I'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
Okay, Clytus is up.
All right. So we can't see him at all.
Get near Adrin so I can haste you two.
All right, I will run over by Adrin. And I will then cast... Well, actually, I'll go here first, because I can go here, cast a spell, and keep moving, right? So I will cast Bless. 3 creatures. Who wants a Bless?
Doesn't have to be me.
Octavio.
Give it to the other
Maybe.
3.
So I'll give it to Octavio, Rowan, and Adrin. You all get a D4 to add.
Okay.
to attacks or saving throws. Ooh, let's see. You can target one additional creature. I could also add another person, but nah, that's fine. I'll just do that.
Did that other guy follow us or no? Or he just took off?
He disappeared. We don't really know. He probably. I'm assuming he's around somewhere.
Might be still alive.
Victor?
Yeah.
He ran up the stairs back in. I mean, he never.
No, I meant not Rictavio, but the other dude that was with us.
The guy that we killed already.
Yeah, Wait, what?
What?
No,
I'm really confused. Who are you talking about? What other guy?
The guy
You
from the
mean-
werewolf den, the
Yeah.
elf or whatever. Not
Yeah.
elf. Is it elf?
he's not with us anymore.
Casimir left the party. Yeah.
There you go.
Casimir
Okay.
left.
He left last
went
session.
to Strahd's castle. We know where he
No,
was
but
headed.
I'm assuming Strahd's servant is around here somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, him too. Right.
Yeah, that guy. Okay.
Oh, you mean Rahadin?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have no idea where he went. He disappeared. I guess anybody who's arcane spellcaster could make an Arcana check. See if you can identify. It looks like he cast a spell, but you're not.
Right.
If someone has an Arcana, can roll an Arcana check, you can maybe see what he did.
I don't have that.
Okay, then you have no idea where he went. So that was Clytus. Adrin's up.
I guess I'll go. What did I say that?
I need to touch you two.
That's a little personal, man.
I'll stay close by, but I'm gonna go on the defensive, just in case somebody wants to walk up and whack me.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Then next would be Jugs.
I'm going to cast haste on both of them. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I'm going to move to like there. Between the building and the wagon.
Okay. All right. Rictavio / Van Richten. He is going to cast would that even work? No, that's not what he was thinking. He will cast Death Ward on you, Adrin.
Okay.
Which means he has to come up and touch you, but he will do so. So he will approach you to stand within the circle of sunlight, and he casts Death Ward on you, which I think I can pull up in the compendium.
I have it. If you want me to just
I got
Just
it.
click it and make it pop up
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
in the chat.
there you go.
There, now you know.
Yeah, perfect.
You have both haste and death ward in the chat.
Yeah, I was
now.
thinking I could put it in the chat, but I can't from the compendium. So, so that was Rictavio. Okay, on Strahd's turn, Adrin, you will need to do something. If I can figure out where I just had it up here.
Death word. Whoop! Don't do that. I X
Uh-oh.
myself.
He's dead.
I'm dead.
Damn it! We lost Adrin.
The lightning bolt is my haste, and the anti-X there is my death ward.
Oh, where the hell was it? I just had this up here. This is the problem with him being able to do so much. And of course, your window just freaked out again.
Glad I could help.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you need, Edrin, you need to make a charisma saving throw.
Ugh.
But you get the plus whatever from the
Oh yeah.
bless, remember?
Yeah, whenever you make a saving throw, you add D4.
D4.
22.
22. Okay, excellent. Okay. You are not affected.
He's pissed.
Let's see. And he will do something else as soon as I switch layers here.
Can that tiger smell him?
On Rectavia's turn, maybe you can check with that, but right now it's your turn.
Yeah. Alright, seeing my thing didn't work last time, I'm gonna turn my Spirit Guardians on this time. So, I'm gonna do my 15-foot
Okay.
radius of, let's,
Starting to wonder if Strahd just ran away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we don't even know what happened to Adrin, so as
Right.
far as we're concerned, it's just
so of course all my compatriots are, including the tiger, are ignored.
Okay. All right, then Clytus is up.
Okay, so what is going on with Adrin?
Don't know.
nothing.
I'm hasted and I have Death Ward on me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Strahd tried something.
And he tried some, or
But
I don't
we
know.
don't really know that. Yeah,
Right.
something may have happened to him, but he.
Oh, also don't
fought it
forget
off.
if you're within 10 feet of me, you get +3 on your saving throws.
Oh.
All
wow.
saves or just fear?
So
All saves. It's area. Let's see. Aura of
you got a 25 on that save, actually.
Aura of Protection. Any saving throw, creature gains a bonus equal to my Charisma modifier, which is +3.
Wow.
So if you're within 10 feet of me,
I'm hanging out with Clytus. This.
yeah,
Right.
you all start having a- Also, you cannot be charmed if you're within 10 feet of me while I'm conscious.
Sweet.
And you cannot be frightened if you're within 10 feet of me.
Oh.
Don't tell Strahd.
All these overlapping auras here.
Let's gather around.
So we should all go back to back and
Right.
Bring it on, Chicken Strahd. Bakok!
all right. So I did bless. Let's see what else I got. I'm gonna do aid, and I will give that to who needs 5 hit points on top of their existing hit points.
Well, I already had 23 down, so I'd take the 5.
Yeah.
Okay. You get 5. Jugs.
I'll
you
take
can have
5.
5. Rowan, you want 5?
Am I within range? Yeah.
Yeah, you're within. You're within
Sure.
30 feet of me. So yep. And then I go on. I don't know. Is going on defensive an action? I guess it is, isn't it?
You already did the aid thing. That would be your action.
Oh, that's true. Yep. Okay. So then I just hang out
Okay, Adrin's up.
since I have nothing to
I got
attack.
nothing to punch. I don't see anybody. I'm going to. So I have the Sunblade in one hand, and I'm going to pull out. Well, sorry, oops. I didn't mean to roll. I'm going to stab myself with my other short sword. I'm going to pull out.
You rolled really well.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out my other short sword, and if need be, I'm going to activate it if a vampire or vampire spawn comes near to help everybody else out.
So are you putting the sun sword away?
No, I am not putting it away.
Okay.
I'm holding it one in the other hand, and I will activate that ability since it's intelligent, and then, yeah.
So you're
But
basically
I'm doing nothing. I'm drawing a weapon, and I'm going to go on defensive. That's it. I have 2 weapons out.
okay. Do you have a 2-weapon proficiency of some
I
sort?
do not.
Okay,
But I can hold something, right?
that would be treated as fighting with 2 weapons in your hand, so you'd suffer the same penalties as fighting.
Just fine. That's fine. Whatever.
I have a douchey rules lawyer question for you, Paul.
Sure.
Dispel magic. Choose any creature, object, or magical effect within range. Does that mean if I don't see the magical effect, I can still target it?
Nope. You have to be able to see the target, see what you want to target.
All right.
Well, you can target a specific area, but that wouldn't be an effect.
Right. Okay.
I mean, an object could be a patch of ground, but
All right. Just double checking.
I'm just double checking something here. All right. I'm trying to look up the two-handed fighting,
Oh, it's complicated.
two-weapon fighting. Basically, you would normally use a bonus action to attack.
You don't get your strength bonus, I believe, on the second attack.
Right. It's the shorts. So a short sword is considered isn't a light weapon.
They're short swords are. I got 2 short swords. They're both monk weapons.
Right, not a monk weapon. I'm saying a light weapon.
I don't know. I guess I don't know what you're asking.
I'm trying to interpret the rules are different than in 3rd edition.
5e short sword.
Because normally you can only make an attack. It really only talks
It is
about.
considered a light weapon, yes.
Okay.
Properties are finesse and light.
Okay, then that would be a finesse. Yes. Okay, so you would be able to attack with the sun sword in your other hand without a problem. You would, though, not add your ability modifier to the damage of the attack.
Okay. I'm still going
you
on
know
the
what?
defensive.
You know what? In fact, that would only apply to the damage of the bonus attack. So never mind. You can use it normally.
Okay.
It's just that you can't.
I'm still not using it. All I'm doing is pulling it out because it has a spell ability on it that I would cast if we see vampires or vampire spawn, and then I'll probably sheath it. That's all I'm going to do. That's all it's out for. And I'm
Okay.
going on the defensive.
Okay. So taking the defense action.
Yep.
Okay, Jugs is up.
Kill
I'm
him.
going to cast Mage Hand. And along with the Mage Hand and my 2 hands, I'm just going to flip 3 birds in different directions.
Isn't Mage Hand invisible?
No.
And
A spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose within range.
I guess it doesn't
have
say it's
a-
invisible.
you have
Yeah.
a surge too from earlier, don't you?
Oh,
Well,
yes.
it doesn't work on cantrips.
Yeah, it was a cantrip.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's got to be a spell.
I was hoping. Well, cast a spell then, damn it.
No, I'm just flipping 3 birds in different directions.
Okay,
Okay.
basically in all
Hoping
3 directions.
I am flipping him off.
Okay, I won't ask you to point out the different directions, but
Yeah, it's not that important. I
no,
just don't know
but
what else to do.
the effect is good. Okay, Rictavio / Van Richten. Okay.
And the tiger.
Can the tiger smell him? It smells like death.
That's what I was asking. Oh,
Smells like victory.
He casts. Well, he says, "Do you think a magic circle would be appropriate here?"
I don't even know what that does.
I can protect against undead and prevent them from willingly entering by
area.
non-magical means. And it would you would need to.
Sure,
Overcome.
can't hurt, I guess.
I just didn't know. And targets within the same. You can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed, which Clytus kind of already helps with. And creature would have disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within the cylinder. So,
Sure.
okay, yeah, he's going to do that, and he can specify. Is it? Yeah, 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder. He wants to I think it's immobile. It's not right centered on him necessarily. We'll just draw it 10 feet. I don't know. He's going to try and get as many people as he can. So, Rowan, I think you're going to be out of it
Yeah,
for now.
I'll probably be out, but I can move.
Okay, I forgot it's... I can't draw... Why doesn't it draw from the center, damn it? Okay, I think I can move it, can't I? Really? I can't? That sucks. Okay. Why isn't it just drawing a frickin'...
Just center it on him for now.
Yeah, that's easiest. I'm just going to do that. Well,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't... It's not movable after the fact. That's what's confusing.
Oh.
There, good enough. That's a... It's kind of a magic
enough.
oval against evil, but...
Magic
Magic.
oval against evil.
Oh no, it's just a magic. It's called magic circle, not evil.
Oh.
He's basically chose undead as the creature type that is warded from it.
All right.
Okay. Now Strahd gets to go.
Good for him.
What about the tiger?
He's commanding the tiger to stay within the circle of the sunlight,
All right.
and now the circle that he just drew.
Yep.
Wait a moment. Never mind that whole magic circle thing. Casting time 1 minute? I don't think so.
What?
Of course
Yeah.
not.
I remember reading that.
Now I can't delete the circle. Okay, there's he spray painted a purple circle on the floor. No, he will do something else. He will.
Oh shoot.
That thing's good for like if you're doing watch or something.
He actually casts Sanctuary on Adrin.
Okay.
Okay.
Man, I got all.
Keep the Adrin alive.
Keep the
Yeah.
Adrian alive.
Yeah, for you to be
see what I
targeted,
got.
the whoever wants to attack you would need to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
What, that one?
Yeah. Okay, so then now Strahd. All right, so. Why am I not using his legendary actions?
I don't know. Why aren't you?
Okay. So. Jugs. You are attacked.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, you can't see him, so he is going to, first of all, make an unarmed strike against you. Yeah, 20 to hit you.
Yeah, I have a 15 to hit.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, so you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, plus 17 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Ow.
And you are now grappled. No, you are not grappled. Excuse me. So his second attack would be another unarmed strike. Oh, man. 13?
Nope.
Okay. All right. That was Strahd's turn. Rowan's up.
Run over and hug Jugs.
Yeah. I'm.
I'm fine. Nobody worry about me.
He must have
He's
been
gonna
outside that circle. So
Apparently.
I'm actually going to move there, and then
So your magic circle comes with you.
no.
Yeah, your spirits.
Let me see if I can. I do have the fairy fire spell, but I don't have it prepared.
Okay, as you're moving there, you actually bump into something you can't see. So, and you're stopped right there.
All right.
Found him.
And I'm going to. I'm going to do a third.
Burning hands. Okay. Okay, so he needs to make a DC 16 Dex save. Yeah, his Dex is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah, he made a save, so
You took
takes
6.
half. So he
Yeah.
took 7 points of fire damage. Okay.
It
And
ignites any flammable objects that are being worn or carried as well.
Or not being worn or carried, right?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, that aren't. Okay. All right, never mind. What? Yeah.
yeah. Technically, you're standing on top of the wagon here, but we'll just, for the sake of
Oh.
easing
Okay.
things. I mean, that was just kind of a background part of the drawing, so never mind. That's off to the side. Clytus, you're up.
This is annoying as hell. I will run up behind Jugs and touch him with protection from good and evil. Anyone who attacks him who is undead, I will specifically protect him from undead, has to make or is at a disadvantage.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh wait, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh,
The reason being is because that would get rid of bless.
oh yeah, because it's
Concentration.
Because it's concentration, so I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I take that back. So I just come over by Jugs and go meh.
Can't you? You can whack the space.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make blind attacks. So is it just disadvantage or what is?
You pick a square, and I will double check that. Attacking. Basically, it's heavily obscured. Basically, attack rolls have disadvantage, and the creature's attack rolls have advantage.
Okay. I will, and I'm hasted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get 1, 2,
Nope, you dropped your great axe or your great sword.
twice apparently.
Well, yeah. If you drop it, you need to expend your remaining actions to pick it up.
Okay, well then I spend my bonus action to pick it up, or is it only a bonus attack for my haste?
You could spend your action to pick it up and then use your bonus action to attack with it. And I'd say
Well, no, my first action would have been the swing to attack.
right,
So my second attack would be to pick it up,
right.
and then my bonus. So the third one is the one that hit.
I would say you could use the rest of your movement. Essentially, you only took a few steps, so I could say you use the rest of your movement to pick it up, and then you can get your bonus attack with the
Okay,
greatsword.
so that would be that one. So do I hit?
So the
24?
17. No, it's a 17.
Oh, that's right. It's
It's
disadvantage.
Disadvantage. So 17 would actually be enough to hit him.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to. So that's the normal damage for it. Then I get 46 because of Strahdness. And I'm going to go ahead and burn a 3rd level spell slot and do
Nice.
the.
Holy shit. That's a really good roll.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Almost
gonna burn
max.
for, let's see, smite, divine smite. I get 3d8 because he's undead, and I get 2 more, so 5d8 on top
Wow.
of that.
Smite this bastard.
So 52, 66 points total damage.
Wow,
And
nice.
Radiant.
And what does your aura do again? That's moving with you. Does that do anything against him?
No, it's just people within 10 feet of me cannot be frightened, charmed.
Right.
They get a +3 on their saving throws, and they cannot be. What's the other one? Yeah, they just can't be frightened or charmed, and they get a +3 on their saving throw.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you did a substantial amount. Not that you can see it, but you hear him roar in fury as you do some pretty
Ow.
significant
I
damage.
say, fight like a man, you wuss.
Okay, Adrin's up.
All right, so I got 110 feet of movement. So I'm just gonna run around to between Rowan here, and I'm gonna run around like in a circle until I bump into him.
Okay.
Kind of freaking like. So I want to be like on this side of him. I'm guessing he's like around here, but with 110 feet of movement, I'm gonna at least know that somebody's there or brush up against him or something.
And you're flanking with somebody.
Don't forget you to D4 plus for bless.
Okay.
Yeah, you pretty much pinpoint that he's probably right there in the middle.
I'm gonna on my way. I'm actually gonna drop the whole pretense of and cast using that other short sword. Sheath that one. I'm gonna use my Sunblade and attack. And
Oh my
Oh,
god. Really?
you drop the Sunblade. You need to spend the rest of your turn picking it up.
No,
And-
that's only if I roll an advantage.
You're disadvantaged because he's invisible.
Yeah. Unless you
Okay.
want to use your inspiration.
Yeah.
You can use your inspiration to avoid it.
Well, but then he can use his other action to pick it up and then attack with his bonus action still.
Right.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll do that.
So
Okay.
so he gets the 22.
All right, so 22 would
hits.
definitely hit.
All right, and then I'm gonna spend a key point, so I'll do
Oh.
that first. I'll do that. So 8 radiant damage,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna punch him twice.
19 and 18. Holy shit.
Both hit.
Plus you get a D4 on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So 19 more magic, so 27
Boom.
total.
Do you get anything for the Sunblade against Strahd?
It's radiant.
That's
I,
it.
mean, I can read on it. So hang on a second.
Yeah, and he is actually in sunlight right now.
You're right. I think I get extra. Let me look it up here. An extra D8. Okay, so I would do this. Hang on. So. One more.
Right.
He drops.
So I remember I put this on my. Yeah, I'll do that. So damage 2 would be. Let's see if this works. Ignore this. Yep.
So what? I don't get what did
You got. Don't worry. Don't ignore that one.
I know, but I just
He was just seeing it.
9 radiant, plus 19 bludgeoning. So.
I already subtracted all the damage you've done up to that point. So what was that roll for?
That was so that I added extra D8 to the configuration of the Sunblade. That was it.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was just
For
checking
future.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you
So
get to
what-
add one more radiant to him because I added that extra roll for the
That
D8.
1d8.
Yeah, I added the one.
Okay,
Okay.
because that's going to make a difference. I
It
know.
will.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you drop from that extra point?
Jugs, you're up.
All right. I guess I'm going to cast light. Actually, I'm gonna cast Cone of Cold
Nice.
in like this direction so that it doesn't hit Rowan.
You would need to choose to hit either Rowan or Adrin.
Well, I'm gonna hit Adrin.
Okay. Yes, you could do that.
Well, because he's got evasion.
Yeah.
He's also got advantage on dex saves because of haste.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I get an additional D4
And 3.
yeah.
and 3, so 23, 26.
So it's a DC 16. I think his 26 passes.
47.
Yeah, he rolled a natural 20, so he definitely made his save. So he takes half that, I
Still
take.
takes half. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Wow.
23.
That was actually a really good roll.
That
Is
was.
there something else with Cone of Cold? Like it has an effect?
The only effect is that
Cold?
if they were to die, they become a frozen statue until they thaw.
Oh.
Otherwise, there's no
Strahd sickle.
effect. Oh, it's actually a Constitution save.
Hmm.
So actually, you rolled the wrong save.
Well, I still
You
rolled a
don't get
natural 20.
advantage. So
Roll
I'm
the natural 20.
yeah. Well, no, him. I'm talking about.
Oh,
That's
Did
apparently a Constitution, so you take half
Paul.
as
Paul
well.
did.
Then that would
Did-
be. So I'm not gonna do that one.
Did you have to?
What?
Yeah, but hold on.
Did you have to wild
I didn't-
surge?
Well, yeah, but I just read that that's a Constitution save, not a.
Oh.
So that wouldn't have been the spell I would cast
Why not?
because I want because Adrim would have to take damage from it. I want to do a Dex attack,
Oh, okay.
so I would cast Lightning Bolt instead.
Okay.
Which would
Got
still
like,
hit Adrin.
7.
So he takes half of 27 instead,
Okay.
because he still passes.
13.
Okay.
It's gotta
And
be
then
hurting.
Yeah, and then I'm going to, as a bonus action. Well, I guess do I get a Wild Magic Surge, or should I roll for that or no?
Yes. Go ahead and roll percentile.
All right. Roll 1.
Immune to all
I
damage
bookmarked
for
this page.
the rest of the campaign.
37. Let's see. Oh God.
That
Let's
is
see.
37.
The fuck is a flump?
I don't know, but all right.
Must drink all alcohol on person.
They're frightened of me. So
Is this in the compendium? Is the question.
what is a flump?
Okay.
Jesus. And then I was going to use sorcery points to cast Mirror Image and get 3 duplicates. Was the other strategy.
Wait. You.
I'm casting it as a bonus action
Oh, okay. To get your.
with sorcery points, yeah. Because I can quicken
That's
it.
a can't. Oh no. How did you cast a lightning bolt and?
Oh, does one have to
No,
be a
you-
cantrip
Yeah.
in order for that to work?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can only cast
Well, never
one
mind.
full spell.
just don't do that.
Yeah, you can do
I'm just gonna accept death.
Okay, yeah. All right, so the fuck. Well, Flump isn't in the compendium, so I can't highlight it.
It's in the monster manual.
Yeah, it is. It's
I just
basically this kind
Googled
of
it.
goofy looking thing with tentacles and eyes, and there's a bunch of them that appear and are frightened of jugs and will run off. I'm not going to even put them on the map.
Yeah, if they're frightened of me, then that seems weird.
Yeah, it's just kind of a goofy effect. Okay, so all these weird creatures suddenly appear and pop into play.
I'd have liked a 39. Jeez.
Yeah. Okay, so Rictavio is gonna edge his way into the circle of the sunlight. Actually, the tiger will move over here and attack. Van Richten isn't even bothering trying to turn Strahd.
Yeah, it's probably futile.
Yeah, he knows enough that it's not an issue to warrant it. He. Wait a minute. Your sanctuary is gone, by the way, Paul, when you made your attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of his spells won't really. He will cast freedom of movement on you, Clytus.
Who is?
Van Richten cast freedom of movement on you in case you get
He
grappled or.
He doesn't have fairy fire.
No, he does not. But
Yeah.
you can bet
We're gonna remember this later, right?
Yeah.
Fairy fire is important, right? Right? Fairy fire important.
Fairy fire.
the tiger is going to attack. He's going to claw. Oh, he doesn't get a multi-attack. That's interesting. So he will claw because he can possibly do more damage that way. Oh, not great, tiger. He only got a 10, so he misses. Actually, a disadvantage. Yeah, still misses. Okay, so that was Rictavio and his tiger. Oh, and I keep forgetting Strahd's fucking legendary actions. God damn it.
He's got a save against my spirit.
Doesn't
thing
he only get those though when he's in his lair?
No, it's not a lair action. It's a legendary action. He can take up to 3 legendary actions. He may or may not have lair actions, but he's not in his lair at the moment. So, so I would say, yeah, he would have tried to get a bite in there before his turn.
He's hungry.
So before I will officially start his turn, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just roll a d4. He's not going to try and bite the tiger. He actually was going to try and bite you, Rowan.
All right.
And he gets advantage on this attack since he is invisible. Oh my god, one of them was a natural 20.
Oh,
Oh.
ouch.
All right, so for the piercing damage, you take 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And the necrotic damage, if it matters.
It doesn't.
Holy crap. 24 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
Okay, so
And he's probably gets to grapple me or something.
well, he actually got a bite attack. And he gains.
Adrin.
Hang on, how many points was that? 24 plus. What was the first one?
4? No, I forget. I'm down to 37. So I was at 63, I think.
Okay, because he recovers that many hit
12.
points.
It was 12. The first part.
Okay, and you don't see him
Yeah.
regain all that.
Well, because of Adrin's sword, does he lose the ability to regain hit points, like because he's in sunlight or anything? I mean, I don't know how vampires work, but does that help? Anything?
I've taken that into account.
Oh, dang it.
That wasn't regeneration. That was his draining. He
Oh.
actually physically drained the life force out of him through the bite.
Yeah.
Does he take damage from Rowan?
Yes, now I'm getting to his round. So first off, he needs to make a save against the what's him Duma fluppies around.
DC 16. Yeah, what is it? Wisdom.
Okay.
So he's probably got really good wisdom.
Yep.
Okay. He actually did not make his save. So what was the damage? I have to scroll.
I believe 14.
How do I scroll up in the chat?
15. Oh no, that was a different one. 14.
14.
14.
Okay.
Yep, 14. Yep.
So he takes 14 from that. And then he is in sunlight, so he immediately takes 20 radiant damage from that.
Wait, takes damage. Nice. Go,
And
Andron.
And he can't regenerate from the radiant.
Well, that's kind of what I thought it was going to
Yeah.
be, was that he just didn't regenerate.
Okay, so he's still standing though,
Yeah.
and so he will do what? Yeah, he is. Jesus, he is going to try to polymorph Adrin.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So as soon as I find the friggin'
Get +7 on your
here.
saves right now, so that's good.
Okay, so you need to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Well, he gets +3 plus a D4.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So 19, 21.
Okay, you make your save. You are not polymorphed. And
Nice.
he does something else. Or wait, is this...
Even if
Nope.
we kill him.
Nope, he doesn't, because that's an action. He can't
We
take his...
can't kill him here. We got to kill him
Right.
in his lair. I get it.
No, he can't do that, because it's an action, so he already took his action. If I can remember his friggin' legendary actions, he'll perhaps do something else. Rowan.
I'm not going to remind you. Sorry.
It's my own fault. It's a
You're on your own on that
damn
one.
villain. Okay, Rowan, your turn.
All right. Let's see, it's a concentration thing, so I'm gonna do that radiance. Did it show up? Constitution save.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, Rowan,
Yeah.
on that last 24 necrotic damage
Yeah.
that Strahd drained, your maximum was reduced by that amount, by the way,
Oh my god.
until your next long rest.
Right.
Okay, so he needs to make a Constitution save. The first one, right?
First one.
The first one, yeah, I don't know. It didn't take it, I thought.
What's your save DC?
16.
Oh crap! That was a crappy roll. Yeah, he failed. So he takes 19 radiant damage.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, he did not like that. He is going to use a legendary action and bite you again.
Oh.
Since you're the one that's damaging him and oh crap. Oh wait, he has advantage. He's invisible. There, that's a little bit better. 20.
Yeah.
Paul, your window keeps moving every 5 minutes.
It's not me, man.
No, I'm
doing
not
it.
blaming you. I'm blaming VC. Nobody else's window is moving. It's just weird. Okay, so he bites you. It's not a critical this time, though.
No.
So your normal piercing damage is 6 points,
Okay.
and the necrotic damage is another 9. The 9 again is further
Sure.
subtracted from your max.
Minus. Yep. All right.
So that was his legendary action. Clytus is up.
All right, I will try to just smack him, I guess.
So I just want a point of clarification. So normally we're playing advantage when flanking, and
Yeah.
he is invisible. So is it just negated then?
Yeah.
Straight up roll.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Ooh, that's a hit.
That
Yeah,
would
I
definitely be
should
a
hope
hit.
so. 17, maybe.
Oh,
jeez.
Oh!
17 did hit earlier.
17
Yes.
dead, too?
Yeah, so all 3 hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And you
So
get
should
an
I-
additional 4d6 on each of those?
Yes. So
Actually,
should I take the 30 or the 30?
I'd take the second one.
No, I would
Well,
take the 30.
you double all dice, so it's going to be 16d6.
Holy crap.
So you add in 16d6.
Yep.
So what happens if we do
correct.
kill him here?
Nothing.
Nothing. He just goes home.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I guess. That's why Paul's doing it, because like,
Yeah.
cool.
Right.
I'm gonna
He
try and
just
kill the
gets
party.
to go home anyway.
So,
Holy
there
shit.
was that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and burn. I'll burn a couple of spells to get. Let's see. So that'll be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, D8.
Are those? Is that radiant too, or no?
Yep. All of that's radiant.
Yeah, it doesn't
21.
matter. He already took radiant damage this turn.
You're up to
Oh, right.
77. That's
Oh, that was a shitty roll there.
that's 101 points of damage.
Wow.
Okay, here's what happens. With the mighty cleave, you swing your axe through the space where you believe Strahd is. You hear a wail of fury, and suddenly this form appears in the shape of Strahd that's kind of milky white and translucent, and it just collapses into this puddle of slush on the ground that slowly spreads out.
Okay.
Nice. Simulacrum? Maybe?
Anybody with Arcana?
Nope.
Maybe.
Well, actually, Van Richten might know.
Yeah,
Does
but-
it matter that he's in sunlight?
I have a +0.
Van Richten knows nothing. Jugs, you have no Arcana abilities?
Well, yeah, there.
Oh boy.
You got a 0! He turned into a puddle! A puddle of unholy water!
There.
Oh my god.
Edrin got a good roll.
But you have to be trained.
Yeah, you have to be trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why do I have a roll?
So it doesn't matter that he's in sunlight. That doesn't affect anything. I was hoping.
We could see it better.
All right, well, Adrin, I'm just going to say, for the sake of saying, that you had heard in your many travels at some point or other from who you don't know, remember. Maybe you were talking and over bullshitting with Victor Volakovich at some point about this. But yeah, there's this spell called Simulacrum, which basically kind of creates a double of something, of a person. And
So we killed his doppelganger or
right.
avatar. Or what I know when.
Oh,
Yeah, either way, it's just gonna piss us off, right? Dude, you suck.
Yeah, well, he
I scream at this guy, take that, you son of a bitch!
he didn't doppelgang his wagon.
You hear a nasty chuckle come from the clouds in the
I'll
direction
yell
of
at the
Castle
clouds.
Ravenloft. Old man yells at Cloud.
One down. We're coming to take you down, Strahd. You better start praying.
All right.
Well,
I think we got lucky.
Yeah, well.
Van
Where'd
Richten
that
says,
other
well,
dude
this
go, though?"
wasn't
Well,
entirely disastrous. We
Well, we do have two weapons that are very much anti-Strahd. And did that Raven thing give you any power against Strahd?
It's tough. I could hold him, but he'd have to fail a pretty easy save.
I'm gonna give
Dang it.
you. I'm gonna heal you.
Oh, I need
So-
much more than that.
I
So,
know, but
Yeah.
I just gave you 17.
Oh, nice.
remember your max is down until your next long rest.
Yeah. Yeah. Does Greater Restoration fix that?
No, it's until your next long rest.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I vote we go rest in the church.
Nobody likes us at the church.
yeah.
But it's sanctified, right? He can't get in, right?
And it's kind of like my Lord's church, so.
Yeah, let's go hang out there.
Yeah, Van Richten agrees with that. He's also a priest of the Morning
Yeah.
Lord too, so he thinks that's as good a place as any. And he says, "Well, this wasn't entirely fruitless. We learned some things about his tactics. He can obviously make himself invisible. We learned some of the attacks that he likes to use.
We learned
Is
to have
Do
fairy
it,
fire ready.
and don't forget, does anybody have an ability to like prevent necrotic damage?
Yeah,
I do
I
not.
don't know if there is, but yeah, I'll prepare fairy fire from now on.
well,
Well, like protection of energy.
Death Ward would have been useful probably,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
which he cast on
Yeah, I
Clytus.
have that too, and I actually have that prepared.
Does daylight do damage to him?
20 points of damage.
Yeah, that's what he said at the start of his turn. He took
Okay.
20 points of damage.
I meant the
So
spell
that's good to
daylight.
know.
The
Oh,
spell
I see.
daylight.
So yeah, but he says, unfortunately, we also have revealed a lot to him. He now knows that we have the Sun Sword and that we possess the holy symbol of
Yeah.
Ravenkind, and he
And
will.
whatever the heck he had. What's the one that he just used to do 101 damage to him?
I can't remember where the hell you got that thing.
That's from the Revenants that we.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, we
From
fought the Revenants and got the.
yeah, that's actually pretty damn powerful against him. I forgot all about that thing.
Yeah, we never did
So-
figure out. It said something about against 2 targets, so we never did figure out what that was about.
Oh yeah, and don't forget your bonus from the Tome of Strahd as well. It was, I believe, wisdom saves against Strahd's effects.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah, we can't forget that next time.
yeah, I forgot it.
I forgot it too. Don't forget that protection from energy. Would that work against necrotic? No, it doesn't.
No.
It's only acid, cold, fire, and thunder.
Anyway, I'm assuming you guys are retreated to the church and you're resting
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
discussing this from there.
Yeah.
So to me, what I just heard is, sunlight is good,
Mhm.
necrotic is bad. Is there anything that we can do to help prevent necrotic damage, like a protection from energy? Is there anything that we can research that might help against that? Because that was badass. That
Yeah.
hurt.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, because it not only knocks us down, it keeps us from healing as far as we could.
And hanging out with next to Tim is that's what I want to do. Clytus, hanging out with Clytus. That's my goal.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
two hang out close together so I can cast haste on you as well, because if you're separated, I can't dual cast.
Yeah, haste is definitely helpful. All right, now what?
Fairy fire.
I gotta heal up, so
Yeah, me too. I think we
we're
need to
gonna have
take a
to
long
do a,
rest.
yeah.
Okay, so you're going to
Anyone
spend the
actually
night
at
there?
the church?
I'm sorry, what
Is
was
there
that,
anyone
Tim?
actually there at the church?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I was assuming you headed immediately back towards the church
Yeah.
where you could be.
Yeah, but-
no, but I mean, is there anyone
Is there
actually?
like a priest or anything there now?
Yeah, anyone
Um,
around?
There is actually no one. There is no priest left in town
Okay.
because, well, Irina was the priestess.
Yeah.
Can you cast 4th level spells there, Tim?
You know, I cannot. I only go up to 3rd.
You got a paladin spell called Aura of Life that gives you resistance to necrotic damage.
If
Nice.
only I could level up.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah.
Is that on the priest's spell list? Aura
No.
of Life. Oh.
Mm-mm. No, because I have every spell that, because I don't have a book or anything. I listed every single one that I have access to. And I don't see that one.
Yeah. I wouldn't even get 4th level spells until 13th level, so
Bummer.
even if we did level up, it would do me no.
Well, being able to see him would definitely help.
Yeah, I would
Staying,
agree with that.
staying together is good. I don't know what else to do though. I mean,
I have a spell called Hallow, which basically creates an air radius up to 60 feet that he can't enter.
Yeah, but we got to walk up and kill him anyway. And I think
Yeah.
that takes like hours to cast, right?
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah.
So that's basically like sanctifying the church or something.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Is there? I don't know. Is
I have magic circle, but that's
Yeah, that's what I was thinking Van Richten would cast, but that does take a full minute to cast.
yeah.
Does Van Richten know of anything that could prevent necrotic damage?
Not off the top of his head.
Yeah.
He knows that there's items out there that might help, but there's not exactly a magic store in town that he can go to.
That's too bad.
He will pray to the great Lathander for guidance on that subject.
Yeah.
But if he wants to know, is this
Oh.
the next step? Is your plan next to go to the castle?
I think so.
I think at this point we shouldn't beat around the bush.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
if there's anything we can do to buff up, we should try it.
That's the thing. Is there anything we can do to become stronger?
Or magically.
I think we should kill everyone in Barovia to get as much experience as we can and see if we can level up again.
This is a
Right.
milestone-based campaign.
No,
Is there a milestone for
You
killing
will
everyone in
you will gain a
Barovia?
negative milestone for killing everyone in Barovia.
Are there scrolls? Are there potions? Is there? I mean, let's ask Octavio. Is there anything we can?
You are the legendary vampire hunter. What can we do?
I will pray to Lathander for guidance, meaning the DM will need to prep for that.
I have a question though. There was the second wagon that rolled up. What happened to the second wagon when I was chopping it open?
The second wagon?
There was
Well,
not a second
there
wagon.
was. No, the dude was inside the wagon. Or what happened to the dude inside the wagon?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
well, you guys
never-
you've kind of forgot about him and left left the wagon there. You said
ran
you went to
away.
the church.
Did he get out of the wagon? No,
He did not leave when you were there.
All right.
And we just left him.
Well, it's gonna be interesting when he finds out that the Burgermeister isn't dead.
Right.
Yeah, we did do that.
Okay, well, if you're going to spend a long rest there, that's fine. You guys can heal up to your max, and since you're sanctified, nothing can come in and get you. At least nothing undead, and you took care of the hags, so they're not going to bother you. So
it's just angry villagers.
yeah, well, he could send Rahadin in after you, maybe. Although you're not sure now what the hell he is. He's certainly something more than he was before. He was not undead, but now you're not sure. But nevertheless, nothing disturbs you during the night, including the villagers. They still, they finish up their funerals and never come into the church. They just kind of give you a wide berth. But yeah, so the plan, Van Richten does talk a little bit with you in terms of your. He does, like I said, I'll figure out what spells he might want to cast for protection, or prepare, I should say, the following morning. But as far as what he knows about Strahd, he says this obviously wasn't Strahd himself fighting us. From what I know of him, I mean, he's a warlord, and in addition to being a magic user, he fought many battles on his own, so he would be much more focused on tactics.
He would probably remember his legendary spells better, too.
He probably would, DM. He also will have likely additional powers on his home turf, which
And the allies is my guess too. Right?
yes, well, that's what Van Richten was going to say, is that he likely will employ minions of some sort and not allow you to focus your attacks on him. And if he does have to engage, he will likely be much more formidable in combat as well. But he doesn't think that's his primary tactic. He thinks he uses others to do his bidding more than not, and would probably more likely to engage in hit and run tactics rather than a stand-up fight. He has heard the rumor or legend. He did not see this while he was there or find out where it was, but he had heard that there is some sort of an artifact somewhere in the castle called the Heart of Sour, which gives Strahd some additional protections. And if that was destroyed, that might also weaken him. But that's also very likely highly protected too. So it depends on where you guys want to expend your resources.
I'd be interested in just played out greater healing potions. Can we find those anywhere in?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because right now we're unless somebody can cast a healing spell, I'm kind of out of luck if I'm nowhere near anybody.
What a shitload of coin.
I have one greater healing potion, and that's it. I have a potion of invulnerability if you want that.
I have one of those too, but I was going to save that for the final battle.
For the big fight, yeah. I got a heroism and an invulnerability. I also have a revivify.
I think we should try to spend some of our jink that we have, and if there is somebody in Vallaki we could buy that shit from.
There's certainly no magic store. The most you could get would be a potion of healing.
Yeah, that's not going to be.
Was the Tome of Strahd the thing that gave us the wisdom bonus against
Yes.
Strahd's powers? Okay.
What was that? Plus?
I believe it's in the item itself. I thought it was 2.
Should put that somewhere.
Yep, +2 bonus on wisdom saves against effects originating from Strahd's actions.
I'm putting. Where am I going to put that?
I'm just putting it under features. Okay. All right, what are we doing?
So we
I think
rested.
we're just gonna long rest.
Yeah, in fact,
Are you
I think this is
prepared
actually a
to
pretty good
end
spot.
today?
I think this is a good spot to end it for today, because then this will also allow me to maybe prep Van Richten's spell list more focused, since he knows this is where you're going to be doing. It would probably take you not too long to get to the castle from Vallaki. Probably you would have to undergo maybe 3 checks, so a couple hours journey at most. So it would make sense for him to prepare those spells for that day. And you guys could also take a look and see. As far as supplies, yeah, it's a Sararak stockyard. A Sararak. Arasex. The Lich's stockyard. Arasex stockyard would be the supply place in town. It's still very expensive, and you might find a regular potion of healing there. That's one of those rare magical items that's in the commodities list, but you'd maybe find one if you were lucky, based on
And
your
it's only
previous.
2d4, so it's who cares?
Yeah, and it wouldn't be greatly beneficial to you.
Yeah.
But this will give you a chance to maybe think it over in terms of how you want to prep for this. But I'm gonna we'd pick it up next time with you on the road. We'll roll for random encounters then, just in case, so we don't get bogged down in a long random encounter to end the evening with. But otherwise, yeah, then we'll start out with you approaching Castle Ravenloft.
Nice.
Okay.
So, cool. Well, first
All right.
toe-to-toe with... Well, actually, this wasn't your first direct toe-to-toe. You did meet up with him once before in a combat scenario.
And we are 2-0 with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time you actually beat him before he kind of took off on his horsey.
Yeah.
But this is the first time, even though it was a simulacrum and not his full strength and abilities, it was still...
The taste.
Yeah, definitely those things you've got helped. The Sun Sword and the Holy Symbol and that damn sword with the 46. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that when it was. Yeah, okay, that's kind of nice, little extra damage. And then you got the crit on it. It was
Yep. Oh
16.
my god, 101 damage in one attack
That was insane.
round. I should say.
Insane.
That was awesome. I will take it.
Yes. Well, we'll see how you fare against the real deal next time, maybe. So. All
All
right,
right.
Find a
cool.
way to get rid of it.
We'll catch you guys next time then.
All right, so
Bye-bye.
Yep,
Yep.
thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.